Uh, Good day, everyone. In the last video, I've shown you the difference between uh, display properties, inline block and inline block, using examples like labels and paragraphs, which are text elements. In this video, I'm going to show you an example of the same display properties, this time using containing elements called spans and divs. So here is what our web page looks like. It has 3 spans and 3 divs. Before I proceed, I'd like to explain what is a span and a div. As I've said, they are containing elements, which means they are used to contain other elements like paragraphs, images, and others. Usually, they are used to lay out other elements. These containing elements uh, can be manipulated to locate other elements within them within the specific area of your viewport. The viewport is how your web page looks like in your browser. Okay, so at the same time, we will introduce a new property for styling classes. No, so for example, we can assign this elements a class of box. This will make us manipulate uh, uh, these elements better. Okay, let me just copy. So all the 3 spans and all the 3 divs, I'm giving a span of box. Okay, or rather a class of box. Okay, so in our style, I can uh, select a class by the dot indicator when say box. Okay, so we will make box have a border. We can say border top, border bottom, no? But to make a long story short, we can just say border 1px and so. Okay. So in this case, all of them will have borders because they are all classified as boxes like this. So we have this. No? Now, from this point, let us change our body. It's okay now, no? It occupies 100%. Now, the appearance must have been clear to you, no? That the span is inline and the div is block because it occupies one line. So a span behaves like a label and a div behaves like a paragraph, which means that we can also change the property of a span into a block so that it behaves like a div. And we can also change the display property of a div into inline so that it behaves like a span. Like in this case, no, if we put a width and height to span 1, for example, or rather span 2, no, so shall we say S2 is our span 2. We put a width of 150 px and a height of 150 px. Okay, and try to save this and refresh. We know that span 2 doesn't behave or does not adopt the change. However, we can force it to adopt the change by changing its display property to block. Rather, block like that. No, let's refresh this. So span 2 now behaves like a div. However, now we could also change it such that it will behave like an inline but still adopt the size assigned to it. Okay, we use the property called the inline block like this. Save this, okay, and let's try to show what happens. So now span 2 has both the properties of an inline and a block. It's inline because it squeezes itself inside the line, and it's a block because it now adapts the width and the height. Okay, now let us try to illustrate this further by assigning a small and a height. a small box from a medium box. So we say we assign a med- medium, a small, shall say, no? Small with a height width 150 px and a height of 150 px, and we can have a medium, okay, for the size. To be 250 px and a large to be 500 px. Okay. So this time it will be easier for us to assign sizes. For example, for class 2, we'll make it small. And then D1 will also assign small. And D2 will assign medium. And D3 will assign large. So in this case, no, for example, S2 will have the property of both box and small, which means that it will have a border and it will be 150 by 150 being small. Let's save this. Let's refresh. That's what it is, no? So span 2 has become a small box, inline box, and then div 1 is a small box, div 2 is a medium box, and div 3 is a is a large box. Okay. Likewise, we can also assign a background color, and in doing this, I'd like to introduce to you a color picker from W3. Sometimes we may want particular colors. No, we can search for a color picker of W3. Okay, from W3 schools. There it is. No? So there is the color picker of uh, W3. Like for example, uh, we'd like to assign our span 1 and span and div 1 to be of the same color, red, like this, no? So we make the variation, we choose the variation of red. Okay, okay. So in our in the color picker, and we make a property called red, no? So that we have background color to be that way. Okay. So for example, when we go back to our span 1, we can assign it a background color of red and our div 1 to be also red. Okay, that's how it's usually done. Now let's go to our to our web page. So now span 1 and div 1 are red. Now we'd like to make span 2 and div 2 to be light blue. So we'll go back to our color picker. This is a light blue, and particularly choose a variation of light blue. So we'll copy this, and then we'll go back to our editor, and we'll also have a style of light blue. This will say color red or color, shall we say color dash red. So say color dash red, say color dash red, and then we have color dash blue. Okay. Background color. Let's copy that, and then we will assign our span 2 and our div 2 color of 2. That's how we do raw CSS. Okay, just make classes, and then we put properties to the classes in the style tag, and then our web page behave properly. So that's what we did. Okay. Now, uh, in the next meeting, rather in the next video, I am going to show you, or rather enumerate to you and differentiate the different type of positions. And later, we'll proceed to different other display properties such as grids and flexes or flex boxes. Thanks for watching and bye for now.